Okay, so a solar eclipse happens when the moon moves directly between the Earth and the sun. And with an annular eclipse, the moon is a little bit farther away than it ordinarily might be. So it doesn't quite cover the entire disk of the sun, and it leaves this ring shape or annulus behind, and we call it an annular solar eclipse. Sure. You want to make sure that you're using these special safety glasses, these special solar viewing glasses that you can pick up at public libraries and other locations. But you want to make sure you have those on anytime you're looking at the eclipse. Otherwise, you can have some serious eye damage. If you don't have a pair of these solar glasses, you can take a simple piece of paper and poke a little hole in it and hold it up over the sidewalk, and it'll actually project an image of the sun down onto that surface. You can view it that way. If you don't have a piece of paper, you can actually just use your hand. You can make a little bitty hole, or look. You can look and see a small hole in between your fingers, and you hold that up over the sidewalk, over your other hand, over pretty much anything, and actually create that pinhole camera effect just using your hand. Oh, certainly. My favorite example are the sounding rockets that they're going to be launching from White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. They're going to be launching one just before the eclipse, one during the eclipse, and another one just after the eclipse. And measuring things like atmospheric temperature, the number of electrons that they detect in their instruments as they move through the sky. And they're going to be studying how the ionosphere, a charged particle layer in the upper atmosphere, changes with time, because the solar input, the sunlight moving into the atmosphere is lower during an eclipse. So seeing how that changes with time is of particular scientific interest. Certainly. For the eclipse in April, the moon is actually going to be just a little bit closer to us than it is tomorrow. And so it will perfectly cover the disk of the sun, and we'll see what's called a total solar eclipse. Now, in this case, the atmosphere of the sun, the surface of the sun is completely covered. And all we're going to be able to see is this wispy outermost layer of the sun's atmosphere called the corona. And it looks like crazy hair moving away from the disk of the sun. You never ever get to see that except during a total eclipse. So it's a very special occasion, and I hope folks make time to go out and actually take a look at it. I'm very excited, both as a scientist and as a person, as a regular person. I mean, the science opportunities we're really excited about the science opportunities that we've got lined up with, of course, the sounding rockets. But we're also going to be having instrumentation on high altitude airplanes, taking all sorts of measurements of the sun. But from a personal perspective, this is going to be my first total eclipse, and I'm really excited to get out and actually experience it firsthand. I know that when the eclipse is happening, of course the lighting changes. I mean, that kind of makes sense. But because of that lighting change, the temperature comes down. Morning birds start to chirp. I'm looking forward to hearing the robins chirping. Animals tend to get ready for bed and so on. And it's a singular moment in time where you get to see something, along with, of course, several billion of your closest friends. You get to see this firsthand, this unique opportunity firsthand. Well, first, go out and watch it. Go out and actually experience this for yourself. These things don't happen all that often. Well, they happen fairly regularly, of course, but most of the time they happen out over the oceans. It's rare when they actually happen over populated areas. So take the opportunity and go out and witness this. There's going to be a number of events at different places throughout the country, mostly along the path of the eclipse. Where you can go out and interact with folks from NASA and educators and so on, to actually really engage in this particular opportunity. And finally, again, I'll point back to the citizen science opportunities. These are events and phone apps and a number of other things where you're actually able to help NASA scientists take data, measure temperatures and talk about things like how the eclipse made you feel and what you witnessed in the behavior of animals and other people and the atmosphere and so on. It's a great opportunity to get involved. We have a lot of information out there. The easiest place to go is go.nasa.gov/eclipse. You can also find more information about activities, how to build a pinhole camera that I mentioned earlier, and a whole bunch of other activities that you and children and pretty much anyone can participate in. So again, that's go.nasa.gov/eclipse, as well as on social media with @NASASun.